Hello, welcome to Unfiltered Pride, where we talk about LGBTQ issues and other things as well. Also got myself a haircut, you guys. I basically shaved off my mohawk, so my hair's coming back. But I want to talk about coming out trans, how I feel about it. So when it means to coming out trans, it's your own journey. I think for me, it was this big sigh of relief of Asher, you don't have to hide yourself. You don't have to say, "Oh, I hate the body I'm in." You can say, "I'm loving it so far. I'm loving the journey, the experience, the personal experiences that I've enjoyed is being able to go swimming without like a female swimsuit on. I had to obviously go swimming with a shirt in like tape. It's like tape that you put on your chest. That way if I'm out in the sun, I don't get like sunburn or anything on my chest. But yeah, it was so fun to be able to go swimming, try on shirtless at home. I walk shirtless around my dorm when I go to the restroom. Obviously I have a shirt on when I go outside. But yeah, it's been so great. One of the milestones that I loved, I would say one of the milestones that I loved basically was growing my beard. It is a slow journey. I mean, I get a full beard, but it's okay. I have thick hair. I have a flat chest. I'm getting a revision done, actually. That's going to be one of my new milestones, is getting my revision done. That's probably going to happen sooner than later. One of the lessons I felt I've learned was being able to be myself without feeling like I have to be someone else. For years, I was like, oh, I have to be someone else and blah, blah, blah. Now I can be myself. I'm like a happier person and things like that. And it's just been like a grateful experience for me. Another lesson I learned is that not everyone accepts you for who you are, for the new who you are. I have family members who still call me she, call me Alex, call me by my old dead name, which I'm not going to say, but they just don't learn. And I have some family members who are just like, oh, like I can actually like call you Asher. I can call you he now. Like they're so excited. Like my friend Zach, he's slowly learning. He does still call me Alex, but I think for him it's just hard with the transition because he's only seen me as a female. But that's one of the big lessons I learned is that like not everyone accepts you for the most part. I think another lesson I learned is that I have people who are actually supporting me who may not be blood family, but they're family. My friend Zach has been a big factor of this. When I told him I was getting top surgery, he was like, I'm so happy for you. I support you, things like that. And he's always kind of been there for me. My journey starting at Beacon was a little hard when I was a female because there I realized I probably was not meant to be a female. I didn't do anything about it. But overall, Zach has just been there for me, and it just means so much to have him like by me, by my side, even if we can't be there in person. But he's been my supportive. He's like, "Hey, I'm happy for you," things like that. I've had certain family members who are also supportive, things like that. My sister's really supported my journey and things like that. So I've had some people looking out to me, and I realize one lesson you're probably gonna learn is the top two are gonna be not everyone will accept you, the new you. Second one, not you will have people who may not be blood related who are gonna be like, I support you in your full journey. And that's gonna be the biggest thing to take away from this is that your journey is your journey. But not everyone is going to be on the bus with you supporting your journey. There's gonna be some people who are outside and be like, oh, I hate you for the new you. I'm never gonna call you your pronouns. I'm never gonna call you preferred name. Oh, I'm not gonna respect you walking around the house shirtless. Or if you're like male to female wearing a bra, I'm never gonna support you. Unfortunately, that is reality. And I feel like that is where people say that we're not meant to be who we are now. If you read the news, and this is going to be something that you guys should do if you're in LGBTQ plus community, there is a lot of articles saying, and people saying that you're not male, you're female. So basically, what they're doing is they're basically looking at your birth certificate and saying, oh, you're actually female, you're not male. So if you're trans going into female to male, like me, they're like, oh, you're actually female. Unfortunately, that's reality. I can't change the people um views. You can't change people's views. And I think that is where you have to say, well, okay, that's fine, whatever. That's whatever. But I think that you know what you're gonna say is that one day you're gonna realize you're wrong and then come back to me and say sorry, and then I'm not gonna forgive you because you should have been respectful in the moment. Obviously, when we go through these journeys, we're a little bit sensitive because we're on testosterone, we're on hormones. Like, we're gonna be a little bit sensitive, but at the end of the day, it is our journey in general, which means you don't have to listen to everyone's view. I didn't listen to my mother when I got my top surgery. She's like, oh, you need to wait until you have more money, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, if I don't get it now, I'm never going to get it. So I left the next day to go get it. I told her where I was going. Obviously, I don't think she realized I was actually going to go get the surgery. But it was a lot of journey. It was a long journey to say I want to get top surgery for me. At first, I was like, I'm just going to do the testosterone and then get it down the road. But then when the doctor said, when do you want to get it? And I said, I'd rather get it sooner. You're like, okay, come in and get it done. And that's what I ended up doing basically, as getting it done. Um, and mom, of course, I think was in her feelings. And a lot of my journey comes from people who are really hateful. I have family members who are very hateful, and I have some that are actually grateful and willing to help me. But my mom during that time was not one of those people. She was like, oh, I'm against top surgery. What if something goes wrong? And really, nothing goes wrong for the most part, except for if, let me say this, except for like if, for me, I got a double incision and technically they like take off your nipples and put it back on. There is a chance that your nipples could just fall off and you have to get them back, put back on. But that's a very low chance that my surgeon said, and all surgeons have said that. That's a very low chance. So, that being said, after I got my top surgery, it was like this crazy journey. My mom basically found out I got the surgery, and she's like, "Oh, I'm kicking you out, and you're living with your grandparents." I was like, "Okay, fuck you." We had our whole argument, and then she finally saw me with my flat chest with the binder on. And you know what's the funny part? Um, the funny part was that I don't know how to say this, you guys. The funny part was her reaction. She said nothing. She looked at my chest, said nothing. And then after, as I was going through my name change, and I like put on Facebook that I'm now he, him, and changed my like name thing, like my name on Facebook. We went out. I know she picked me up because I need to be a witness for her, for somebody who was signing something. And basically, we were in the car, you guys. This is the moment where I was like, okay, maybe we might have some luck here. They called me he. I'm not joking. My mom called me he. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, holy shit. This type of journey. My mom called me he. And then actually ended up calling me. I gotta head out in a little bit. ended up calling me Asher, and I was like, holy shit. But yeah, that's what I really want to talk about is like what I'm telling you guys today. I feel like it is just a big adjustment for people, for sure. A lot of people don't understand the adjustment of people learning your name and the fact that your gender may play a role, especially when we're trans. A lot of people are used to our old gender. So our mom was so used to calling me her daughter, and now it's like I'm your son. But I will say this, some people adjust, some people don't. So for the people who decide they want to adjust when you're older, when you're in 30s or 40s, you have a right to say, no, I don't accept this apology, or you have a right to say, I accept it. You do have a right, by the way, to either accept it or don't accept it. That is up to you. I personally, if my other families decided, oh, well, I'm very sorry for all what I did when you were going through your journey. I can say no, I don't accept it. I'm going to say yes, let's move on. If I say yes, I'm going to say if you do it again, I may not accept you again. So that is basically my journey. That's a reflection of me coming out trans. My journey was a little rocky, but I did start wearing guy clothing when I was younger. I think that was helped me in part of my journey. So when I actually got the top surgery, it helped because I was already in guys' clothing for the most part, except for guys' boxers. Actually, no, I had one pair of guys' boxers, but for the most part, I was in like women's underwear, and then I just transitioned fully to boxers. That's also something if you're like going to be female to male, you have to get used to wearing boxers. The brand I like is Adidas. There are certain brands. They're also very stretchy. So mine I can like stretch this way, things like that. And you can buy like a whole pack. I have different colors. I think I have some that are the same color. They're really good ones to get. There are ones you can get that are looser, ones that are tighter. So that will help you in your journey. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode because that was a lot. But overall, I feel like when I do my podcast, I feel like I can be myself. But thank you guys so much. Thanks. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to me in general. And I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you guys enjoyed Unfiltered Pride, where we just are unfiltered and we just don't give a shit about what we talk about. So thank you.